Yulu, what's good? For real, back at it with some more peace, love, and happiness. So, story time. A for real story time. So currently it is the 17th of November, year 2019. This year's been a year. For real, for real. But let's rewind to about a month ago. So, come on, boost up. So, about a month ago, I started to have abdominal pain. And this abdominal pain, I thought it was gas. I'm Caribbean. We like, yo, it's gonna pass. It's some gas, right? So for 4 days, I was laid out. I couldn't really walk. I couldn't really move. Even laying down was hurting, but I still was thinking it was gas. So 4 days go by. And then my mom was finally like, nah, we gonna take you to the ER because this ain't no gas. It gotta be something else because it's just not adding up. It wasn't adding up. I couldn't pass nothing, okay? It was not making sense. So I ended up going to the ER. And go to the ER and they tell me, yo, your ovary grew a cyst and it twisted on itself 3 times. And that was the excruciating pain that I was having. How I can explain the pain, it's like Thanksgiving dinner. You know when you eat too much food and you got the itis and you're sitting on the couch and it's like a pain that you know is going to pass? It was like that, but times 10. It was excruciating. I don't even know how I went through it for 4 days. I don't. But I had emergency surgery, and amongst the emergency surgery and them taking care of all of that, they also pointed out and they noticed that my kidneys needed some help. They were not operating very well on their own. Backstory: when I was about 12 years old, I got diagnosed with a slight kidney disease. The kidney disease was maintained over a course of years of doctor visits and stuff like that. But around 2017, my dosage of medicine went down and I kind of just stopped going to the doctor. I thought I was good. So now we in 2019, this is 2 years later, and here they are telling me, your kidneys are like in critical condition. Like you need to be here. So I was like, hey, everything is everything, right? So it's a good thing that I'm here. So that led to me being in the hospital for 10 days. Now, amongst these 10 days, I done went through, no lie, probably 25, 30 tests, CAT scans, all of that, right? I ended up getting another surgery. So in a 10-day period, I had 2 surgeries, okay? The first surgery was my ovary. They untwisted it. I'm safe, okay? And then the second surgery was, I actually got, let's see if I can put it in the camera. I got a fistula. That's what it's called. I learned something new. A fistula put in my hand. And basically what the fistula is for them to have access to my blood, to potentially do dialysis. Now, again, in the course of 10 days, they're telling me, you're going to have to go on dialysis soon. We need to put this in your hand so it can mature in the next few months. You're going to need a transplant as well. A whole lot thrown at me, okay? And that 10 days of being in the hospital, listen, if you've ever been hospitalized, you understand that 2 days in the hospital is too long, okay? You feel like you're there for like a year. So yeah, 10 days go by, many tests, 2 surgeries. And when I was in the hospital, I kind of just kept telling myself that, I'm here for a reason. Like more than health. Alright, cool. So my physical body is in some position that needs to get treated. I'm here. They're going to treat me. But I felt like it was just life telling me something, And I can't really explain what I feel like life was telling me because I don't think it's going to be interpreted the way I feel like it should be interpreted right now. But over time, I'll definitely find the words to express what that feeling was. But I got discharged from the hospital. I went home. And then between about literally a month ago, the 18th is when I went home of October to now. That's like a month. Mentally, went through it. Like, I kind of shut down, you know. I mentally was sick. Like, I mentally had accepted being sick. You know, I was in a lot of pain, trouble with breathing because I was hospitalized for 10 days. I didn't move much. I was literally in the hospital bed. And then 2 surgeries on top of that. So I was in pain. And then on top of that, I was put on a lot of medication. So it's like my entire life literally flipped and went backwards. Like, it was just like, it wasn't me. But I had to accept it because these doctors are over here telling me, yo, you need to take this, that, and third. If not, it's going to be a dub for you. So what you going to do, right? So taking all the medications and just working and focusing on myself. That's what I kept telling myself. I'm going to focus on myself. You know, not working, not really leaving the house at all. Literally focusing on myself is what I kept telling myself I'm doing, right? But in reality, I needed to be out the house. In reality, I needed to be doing something. But, I mean, I wasn't in the house for 30 days. But mentally, you need to give yourself exploration. Like, you got to be able to see the outside world. Like, you can't be locked up for that long, especially after you was hospitalized for almost 2 weeks. That don't work. Okay, you're not learning that the hard way. But mentally, I'm strong. I'm a very strong person. And even when I felt like I was getting into the dark places where I was just like, yo, like, I just felt drained. I felt like I didn't want to do nothing. I felt just. That's the only way I can explain it. Okay? I felt like I was in the hospital and I was supposed to learn something, and I learned it, and I came out the hospital with energy like, okay, I'm going to put this into a book because my experience was a movie, to say the least. I'm like, I'm going to put this in a book. I'm going to write all about it. I'm gonna. And I didn't. You know, I wrote a few things here and there about it, but I didn't really sit down and dedicate myself to what I wanted to dedicate myself to. And because of that, you know, I'm the kind of person, like, I just be knowing things. And I honestly felt like there was something else I needed to learn. I felt like I wasn't fulfilling what I needed to fulfill, not only for myself, but for others, because I truly believe that I'm here on this earth to do something for the human race. And, I mean, initially we are all here to help each other, but my help is different. And I know that. And I've known that for a very, very long time. And I feel like that experience was something to push me towards inspiring and motivating other people, which is exactly what I'm here to do. And I know that. I'm very, very aware of that. So then, fast forward to couple days ago. The date was the 14th, November 14th. So I had a checkup, and this is my first checkup since I left the hospital about a month ago. I had a checkup, and it was really supposed to be a second opinion from another doctor, just because, you know, I'm trying to make sure that these doctors is telling me what they tell me, you know. So go to the checkup. The doctor's amazing. I love her. We had a great conversation. I was telling her everything, you know, my complaints, my good things, my bad things. Go smooth. Then I leave the doctor's appointment. I left there probably around 5:15ish. And when I had left, me and my aunt, we went to go to this event at Hard Rock Cafe. That's what it's called, right? In Boston. We went to Hard Rock Cafe. And as I'm there, I actually ended up stepping outside to take a phone call. I'm on the phone, and then I'm getting a call from a no-caller ID. We're living in 2019. I'm 23 years old. I don't be answering no-caller ID, but something told me to answer it. And it was a doctor. It wasn't the doctor I had seen a few hours ago, but it was a doctor. This is like 8 o'clock, 8:30. It's one of her doctors. It's one of her fellows, I should say. And she's like, is this Jasmine? You need to get to the ER now. You need to get a blood transfusion. I'm like, first of all, who's this? You call me from a no caller ID. Am I being pranked right now? What are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, I'm traumatized. I'm literally traumatized of hospitals now. I already didn't like hospitals, but traumatized. Like, I don't want to be there. I do not. Like, no. She's like, you need to get to the ER ASAP. And the urgency in her voice was like, it was frightening. I'm like, why is she being so urgent about this? So then I got my aunt, I told her, and my aunt started talking to the doctor on the phone because I'm extra, and I started to have a moment. I'm like, what does she mean? Go to the ER. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I really had a moment. Like, it's bringing me back. So, go to the ER, and I ended up getting a blood transfusion. And it ended up supposed to be me being there for a night. And I ended up being there for 2 days. And then amongst me getting the blood transfusion and being there, now the doctor's just coming in here saying, Jazz, I think you need to start dialysis, like, today, before you leave the hospital. And in my head, we're waiting for my fistula, which is in my arm, okay? First of all, excruciating pain. This was excruciating pain. Like, my hand just now, like, recently, just now, I'm able to use my hand like I used to. But they're saying we might need to have to start you doing that before you go home. And you might have to go through a few sessions here. So that means probably about 4 or 5 days of you being here. In my head, I was planning to be there for a night. Okay, so I can get the transfusion. They can monitor me. I'm good. I want to go home, right? So then it became like a debate and like a conversation between myself, and the doctors, my parents, my family. And to say the least, it was an experience because here I am the second time in a month in the hospital. And now the extremes got even more extreme. Now the extremes is like, okay, you started dialysis. And let me educate you guys really quickly. If the fistula is not ready for dialysis, you have to put something in your chest, kind of, like your neck. And that is where they will do the dialysis as an emergency. I don't even know the terminology of it because I don't want to know it, okay? You feel me? I don't want to claim it. I don't want to accept it. But basically they were saying I'd have to do that. Mind you, I just went through excruciating pain to get this in my hand, okay? So now they're saying you're not going to use that right now. Instead, we're going to, insert again. We're going to cut you again, do another surgery. Not really surgery, but basically make another incision so we can access your blood and we can clean it up. Now, no, okay? So, as you guys can see, I'm clearly not in the hospital. I ended up leaving last night. But I say all that to say that I feel like everything that's happened in the past couple months, as far as my health, as far as, So, I say all that to say, I feel like I was taught a very valuable lesson for my life personally. And that lesson is that I'm alive. Like, I'm alive. I'm not in the hospital. I'm not on a machine right now, which is dialysis. I'm breathing on my own. I feel good. I feel phenomenal, actually. And I feel like this is a very big peak in my life because I feel like I've been hiding a lot. And, people that watch me or follow me, they might be like, girl, like, what you mean? Like, you be inspiring. I do. And I'm aware of that. I'm motivated. That's really what I'm here for. But I got so much more to offer. I got so much more to give. And I feel like I'm not giving enough. So I'm going to make this public declaration to start giving more. And I feel like just based on how our society is, a lot of times we don't do what we know we're supposed to be doing because we feel like it's abnormal or we feel like, people don't care. I'm over that. You feel me? I'm going to talk my talk, walk my walk, be for real, and start letting y'all know what's up, because I just feel like I have so much knowledge, so much light, so much life to give. And now's the time to give it. Definitely writing a book. That's going to be in the works, okay? So stay tuned for that. But more importantly, I just want to, this long video, I hope in some way, shape, or form, maybe it inspires somebody to get up and actually live their life, because you never know when life is going to hit you in the face. And in the past month, I really feel like I felt a few times like my life was about to be over. And my life has changed a lot. I can't say in technical terms my life before a month ago is over, because that's not who I am anymore. You know, a lot of things have changed. A lot has changed. And I feel like everything is everything. Shout out to Lauren, okay? Everything is definitely everything. You got to pay attention to life. If you don't pay attention to life, you will miss a lot of things. And when you do pay attention to life, and you notice that something is equaling to what, you think your purpose is or your mission in life is, take that and run with it. Don't hide it. Don't hide it. Do not hide it, yo. Like, somebody out there needs you. And not only that, you need you. And really, in life, all we're here to do is to become the best version of ourselves. Physically, mentally, spiritually. So why are we going to hide? And I feel like that is what I needed to learn. I feel like I needed to get hospitalized again for a couple of days to just be like, yo, you're special. I'm literally a miracle child. There's no other explanation. These doctors don't know how I'm even able to be walking and talking and doing what I'm doing right now, because the levels of my kidneys is so off. But here I am, and I gotta embrace that, because I know for a fact that I've known for a very, very long time, since I was younger, that I have something very special to give the world. So, stay tuned. Peace, love, and happiness. I hope you go out there and live your best life, because we got one in this human physical form, okay? And I'm just ready to inspire, to motivate, and to move. Mostly to move, you feel me, and live my best life, because we truly are in control of our lives, you feel me? Yeah, that's it.